What up, y'all? I am your girl Candy, and I'm about to speak on it.
I had already heard.
I can turn a shade tree into a money tree. Ooh. This episode was good. It made up for all these episodes that they've been dragging out to get to it. It was a lot of good, funny stuff. It was drama. It was crazy. It had you on the edge of your seat. It was all kind of stuff. And I hope you watch because you about to get some real, what they call it? Spoiler alert. So where do I begin? Oh, we gotta start off with Dennis. Same way we ended. Okay, so Dennis, he brought back the ring.
Aww, that's so sweet.
Boop, put it on her finger.
I want you to put your ring back on.
He done got on 2 knees.
He put a ring back on it. Yeah.
I'm engaged again.
Okay.
Like, whatever makes her happy.
Give it up, Dennis. Good job. Now you better stay on the straight and narrow, or the people in the streets are watching you, buddy. Moving right along. Anyway, so I'm gonna move right along because basically I want to get to the hotel when everybody decided to get together at the hotel room.
It's in my room. Okay, you ain't gotta do the Tanya. Just let us sit here and sit down.
Oh my God! Welcome, guys. This is Marlo's place.
To get to the bottom of Snake Gate. Do you think we really figured out who the snake was? That's the part that was still confusing. Clearly, NeNe said that Jovana was the snake. Marlo hinted that Jovana was the snake, but Jovana was really acting like she was not the snake.
What does that have to do with me?
Did that throw y'all off? I'm like, either she's an amazing liar or there's something more to this story that we just not getting. And that's the part that bothered me is that, you know, I didn't feel like I was getting to the bottom of it. Now, let me say some things. Like before, I thought that Jovana was trying to be a genuine person. She was trying to link up with people off camera, you know, meet up with people, actually build a relationship with people on her own outside of just being on the camera. And so I thought that she was being genuine. And so the first couple of times that I had asked her, did she record Cynthia? And she said, no, I believed her. So I was shocked and kind of pissed off when, you know, everybody was kind of basically saying that Jovana was the snake. This other part that bothered me. It bothered me that NeNe just didn't say straight up in front of Jovana, hey girl, look, you know you had the recording or the audio, which that was stupid too, but you know you had the audio of Cynthia talking, so let's just clear it up. Just tell us how it happened. Why did you record her, or how did you get the audio of Cynthia, or whatever. Like, why did she make it clear in front of everybody? I didn't feel like NeNe was just being straight up with Jovana while we were all sitting there in the room. I mean, I know they showed the conversation she was having with her in the hallway.
I don't understand why you guys.
It's like 8 against 1 right now.
Listen. I'm trying to have your back.
But that still wasn't really clear either. Am I tripping? I didn't get no clarity. It felt like it was still some bullshit. I don't know. That first argument with Marlo and Cynthia, whoop, child. Cynthia got real sensitive to me when, even though Marlo was being sarcastic, and sometimes that sarcastic stuff can come at the wrong time.
And Cynthia with Mike.
Oh. And I guess, you know, Cynthia just wasn't feeling it.
So if you want to get loud and show your ass, you go ahead on. I can go to bed right now.
But what you gonna do is respect me in my house.
And you're gonna respect me as well.
She just was kind of like, okay, miss me with that, Marlo. And Marlo just kept throwing little jabs here and there, and then next thing you know, they arguing back and forth. I felt like, you know, it was just words back and forth, but when I was in the room with them, it almost felt like Cynthia was ready to be about that life. Like her energy was giving me, I want to beat your ass. That was what her energy was giving me, and I wasn't used to that from Cynthia. I was like, oh wow, okay. It's a little aggressiveness going on around here.
This is the 50 Cent that I know.
And it's so crazy because, you know, I never really saw that side of Cynthia, like the aggressive. But then NeNe definitely said in her interview, see, this is the Cynthia that she knows. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess there is a different side to Cynthia. because she was not having it that day, okay? But, you know, luckily it didn't get that far, but they were having some serious words. And then, move around to Jovana and then Porsha.
Hold on. I don't think you understand what's going on here.
Oh, Lord, Porsha got super sensitive with Jovana about what she was saying when she was like, you need to check your man, the whole time.
The snake is your man.
And I'm telling you what my mindset was back then. I was like, why is she getting to the point where she want to fight this girl when she really wasn't trying to fight Eva, when Eva basically had said the same stuff about her? She did.
Oh, come on.
She said that she was like, well, she need to, why she worried about me? She need to be checking these blogs.
I can forward her a lot of these blogs so she can mind that business.
Now, although, to her defense, she never heard Eva say it herself. But y'all have to remember, while we were in Canada, you know, that's when, you know, I was just fresh off of having that conversation where Eva was denying it. And I was like, no, girl, you said it. And it just kind of like was swept under the rug and nobody even cared.
But I would like to approach it in a different manner.
Okay.
So,
Approach it.
yeah, well, I like to be more delicate.
Here we are the next day, and we having this, you know, heated discussion about Snakegate, and then Jovana throws out this thing to Porsha like, oh, well, you need to be checking your man, or whatever she said. And then Porsha ready to jump up. Oh, no. You know, and I was like, wait. I was like, okay, whatever. Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna. It's not the best time to bring that up, so I'm just gonna let it go.
Let me digest it.
But anyway, the whole like back and forth with Jovana and Porsha was going out of control, but everybody was breaking that up. Then I know they showed me kind of like fussing at Eva a little bit, but I basically was trying to tell Eva like, girl, like you just need to move out of the way, because she was far along in her pregnancy and I didn't want nothing to happen to her. She trying to hold people back, and I'm like, girl, got this baby, you need to move out the way. Okay, now what did y'all think about NeNe giving her whole boob to the people?
Yeah.
She had a nice set of tatas. So maybe we can get the doctor that she used for her boobies, because they did a good job. They sitting, okay?
What you doing? Look him. Oh, look him, bitch. Look him.
She was very confident. Now, the one thing you cannot say about Miss NeNe Leakes is that she was not confident, because she was confident with that whole titty out. And then, I don't know if y'all noticed that she also showed her underwear too. It was like she only had on a robe and some underwear, and as she's walking, like this whole situation was spreading open. When her and Kenya was going at it, and everybody had to break apart after watching that scene. I don't know, maybe because my mind always goes to the gutter. I was like, oh my God, girl. Like, could you imagine if they would have actually fought? She would have been butt-ass naked out there. Like, did y'all think about that? Like, if they would have really let them go and get to each other, and that robe would have came off, it just would have been titties everywhere, and ass. And then technically, Kenya's would have been out too, because hers was huge in that dress, okay? And it was just one of them little tie-around dresses. Thank the Lord that everybody broke them up and production saved the day. Yeah, but they were so loud. I was scared that they was going to get us put up out the hotel, okay? And I'm like, and seriously, I am not trying to get locked up abroad. So I was like, would y'all please calm down and be quiet? Because I'm not trying to get locked up abroad out in Canada, because y'all don't know how to behave yourselves in this hotel. So yeah, I was trying to stay out the way. I didn't want to get into any arguments. And it really gave me the energy and the feeling of, remember a few seasons back when we had the pajama night, and it was like one fight led to another fight and led to another fight. That it was the same energy. It was just bouncing around the room, and I was just like, oh, I gotta get out of here before I end up into it with somebody. I do not want to be into it with anybody. Let me get out of here. It was so much going on that night. Everybody just had to go back to their rooms. And then the next morning, I really didn't know how we were even going to be able to go to a carnival together. How were they gonna make it make sense for all of us to come back together? Little did I know. Well, I knew NeNe had somewhere to go. NeNe had a booking and she had to leave. So I knew she was leaving. And I knew Eva was leaving. But I thought that Jovana was gonna be stuck. I did not know that she was leaving until I got there the next morning. It was like Jovana was not staying. So I was like, oh, okay, cool, because their energy would not have been right if she would have been still there. As well as I didn't know how it was going to be with Marlo and Cynthia. Luckily for us in this group, we've come to this weird place where we can have these like crazy arguments and fights and then still be around each other the next day for an event, which is weird. I had a good old time at the carnival. Like, everybody was dancing, we was having fun. They almost pretended like nothing even happened the night before. I'm really glad everybody was still able to enjoy themselves, even though it was just so much drama. Now, the next scene, when we was at the table, child, my hair was looking a fool, okay? And y'all don't even have to tell me, I know my hair was looking a fool. Now, mind you, I had on a U-part wig that I just clipped that bad boy on because we had been out all day in a carnival. I was tired. I didn't really have time to be curling that thing. And now I wish I had, because when I look at it's like every time they got a close-up of the top of my head, that thing was looking like a wet mop on my head. It was just a fool. That's a sidebar. We won't even go into that. Anyway, but speaking of wigs, Marlo just had to call out Kenya's wig, didn't she?
You know, why do you have on a wig tonight while I have?
Say that. Don't
You do, I can tell. I have a wig. Pull it off.
I mean, just because Kenya got a lot of hair and she showed up and showed out at your Marlo wig party don't mean that she can't have a wig of her own.
I need to do the inventory because I was missing a wig.
You had to call it out.
Kenya has a wig?
You know, Kenya didn't feel comfortable talking about her wig to Marlo. So that became an uncomfortable moment. One uncomfortable moment, because the other uncomfortable moment was when Kenya decided that she wanted to bring up who would want to know if their man was cheating on them.
When it comes down to men and men cheating.
Now, I think everybody at that table has been cheated on at one point in their life, okay? So
My life is completely perfect.
No. Tanya.
I'm sure everybody was sitting there like, who you talking to, girl? Who you talking to? Honestly, I really didn't know who she was talking about at first, because I was sitting there like, is she gonna say some shit about Todd? But then I thought about, well, Porsha did just make up with Dennis and he was all over the block, so could she be talking about him? And then I thought about, ding, ding, ding.
Hello. How are you? Good. How are you, ladies?
The cookie lady? Yes, the cookie lady. See, the thing is that Cynthia and Kenya had already told me a little briefly off camera that it was a cookie lady that had dropped by the scene, but it was like a long time before that.
It just puts me in a really uncomfortable spot because I'm actually privy to this information.
It was like when we first started taping, and I didn't hear anything else about her, so I really wasn't even thinking about the cookie lady. So here it is, you know, just out the blue, when she started saying, well, would you want to know? And then Tanya was like, well, I don't know. Would it be because of this? If it was because of this, or because of this? And then I was like, oh, could this be the cookie lady situation? But I wasn't sure, because at the end of the day, Kenya never did say who she was talking about. Honestly, that could have applied to anybody at the table. And it really didn't have to be any real shade behind it, because when you're in a group of girls and y'all know each other, but y'all don't know each other that well, I think there always need to be that conversation had when you find out what they are comfortable with hearing and what they aren't comfortable with hearing. Because some people do want to know and some people don't. And so it's always good to kind of have that conversation like, girl, if this happened, would you want to know, so you know how to handle that person in the future. I did not necessarily take it to where, oh, she about to spill the beans.
So you know your boy, Paul?
Because she didn't spill the beans. We actually started talking about something else right after that. I didn't think anything else about it, but you do realize this is the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
This never had to go anywhere. Girl!
And that will come back up. In the worst way, honey. And I can't wait till you see it. So y'all better stay tuned in, because I can't tell you what's gonna happen. But no, it's gonna get crazy. Until then, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Share with your friends. Tell them all to come on to my Speak On It page. Tell me what you think in the comments below. And also, since we are on the subject, let us know in the comments below if your friend heard, seen, or found out something about your man. Would you want to know? Comment below. And thank you for watching Speak On It.
I had already heard.
I can turn a shade tree into a money tree.